official welcome with us in the SketchUp Beginner Course, Learn 3D Modeling from Scratch. In Chapter 1, Episode 1, we will start with the SketchUp basics. This is the perfect introduction for all of those who never used any 3D software before. So if you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to the channel in order to keep track of upcoming videos. And now, let's dive into SketchUp. We are on my desktop and I've listed 3 browsers in the lower left corner that we can use for SketchUp. You can basically use any browser you want. It's best to choose the one you already use in your daily life. In my case, it's Firefox. Let's start our browser, go to the address bar and type in sketchup.com. This brings us to the SketchUp homepage. If you like to change the language, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and select the preferred language from the list. After choosing a language, you will be automatically brought back to the landing page. If you already have a SketchUp account, you can log in using this button. If you haven't created an account yet, we will click on Try SketchUp. Here, we will be asked for the reason of usage. So please select the answer that applies to you from the list. Then click on Create Account below. We have 2 options to log into SketchUp. We can register with our email address by entering our personal information and setting up a password. But if you already have a Google account, you can also re-enter your Google password and log directly into SketchUp. So because it's way easier to set up, I will also log in with Google and we will see us again once the login process is complete. After you completed the registration or logged in with Google, we will find ourselves on the following page. Here, we will be asked for our area of interest. Please select the answer that applies to you from the list. Then we hereby confirm that we have read and accepted the data protection regulations. We then click on Continue to My Apps. And here, we have a list of all available SketchUp apps. At the top is the Pro version, which is free to use for 30 days. After 30 days, we can't continue to use the Pro version for free. There are no costs, but you will have to choose a subscription plan to continue using it. The Pro version is also the only version that we have to install on our computer. A bit further down the list, we have the SketchUp Web version, which is always free to use. And the apps below are also free. You're welcome to try them out, but they're not relevant to the course. So let's start SketchUp Web. Here we have the loading screen and the privacy policy window opens. Please take the time to read through because we can only proceed if we agree. Therefore, we confirm and proceed by clicking on OK. We will be forwarded to the main menu of SketchUp. You can now use the bookmark function of your browser to save this page, so you can quickly access the SketchUp app later on. I can click on this star symbol in Firefox to add a new bookmark, and other browsers have similar bookmark functions. Now the registration is complete, and we can open a new project by clicking on Create New in the upper left corner. Now we select the unit of measurement. We will use the template millimeter. Now what we can see here is the so-called 3D viewport, our virtual workspace. The gray area is the ground surface. Up here we have the horizon, and above is the virtual sky. We also have a default sketch in our scene. SketchUp always uses real Google employees as a template. This is Helen, and she's about 1.6 meters tall. She helps us to estimate real dimensions when drawing or modeling. We also have 3 visible axes: the blue axis, which runs from bottom to top, the red axis, which runs from left to right, and the green axis, which runs from front to back. Now let's have a look on the user interface. In the upper left corner, we have a button that takes us back to the main menu, and vice versa, we can click on the arrow to get back to the 3D viewport. If we want to save or open a project, we can click on the folder icon. Here we can create a new project, open an existing project, or save the current project. All the files are stored in the cloud. We have 10 gigabytes of storage available. That's enough for dozens of projects, and we can access them anywhere as long as we have an internet connection. Alternatively, we can download our saved projects and store them locally as well. On the left side of the screen is the toolbar. The arrows at the bottom left can undo or redo an editing process. Since we haven't edited anything yet, the buttons are still grayed out. At the bottom right, we have the measurements. In SketchUp, we can create shapes by typing in dimensions directly, but more on that later. And on the right side of the screen are the panels, which we will also discover later on in the course. Next, I will show you a comparison between the for web and the desktop version of SketchUp. Because if you already worked with the different SketchUp version, you probably noticed that a lot has changed. If you never worked with SketchUp before, you can skip this part of the video and continue with the next episode. Everyone else, stay tuned after the end card and check out the differences between the for web version and the desktop version. In comparison, we have the for web version 2020 on the left and the desktop version 2017 on the right side. The differences are mainly visual changes. In SketchUp Web, the layout is more modern and clearer. In the desktop version, we still have the classic menu arrangement at the top of the screen. In the for web version, all the menu items have been shrunk down to a single menu button. Some options can also be found under the panels on the right side. In the desktop version, we also have our tools at the top of the screen, and in the for web version, the tools are located on the left side. And by default, not all tools are shown in the desktop version. To display them, we have to go to View, Toolbars, and activate the large toolset. Now the missing tools are also displayed on the left side. The default sketch will also be different in each SketchUp version. And that's pretty much it. All the tools work the same throughout every SketchUp version. In the following episode, we will learn how to navigate inside the 3D viewport. Sounds interesting? Then consider subscribing in order to keep track of upcoming videos. And I will see you in the next episode.